nah, nah. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, nah, nah. He took me back to East Atlanta, nah, nah, nah. Oh, but my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners, Havana, ooh, nah.
Hey guys, Darsh here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the BlackBerry Key2 and exactly why I think it's probably one of the most underrated phones of 2018. So without any further ado, let's get right into this review. Alright, so I'm going to say a word real quickly and you tell me exactly what comes to your mind when I say it. Okay, 3, 2, 1, BlackBerry. Okay, now what comes to mind? Is it the fruit or is it the phone? See, for me, it's that clicky tactile keyboard that I first fell in love with at probably the age like 13 or something. It was like quote unquote that cool person phone and I wanted one so badly, but thank God I didn't buy one. Probably because BlackBerry was soon put out of their misery by Apple's iPhone 5, which marked the end of the last era of good BlackBerries, if that makes sense. Basically, BlackBerry since then has gone through a lot of ups, but more so downs, and worked so hard on their phones. And in my opinion, the new BlackBerry Key2 is probably one of the most underrated smartphones of 2018, and let me tell you why. So starting off with the design, let's address the big elephant in the room, and that's the keyboard. The big standout feature for the BlackBerry Key2, I mean, it's in the name, it's the keys. It's the huge tactile keyboard on the front of the phone. It's a full-size keyboard with a couple of tricks up its sleeve that I'll talk about in a little bit, but there's also a nice 4.5-inch LCD screen with the 3:2 aspect ratio. Now, if you don't know what that means, it's basically like on a normal phone, you'll have a 16:9, or on the new like 2018 phones, it's 18:9, which is a lot more stretched out like the way you'd see a video. But 3:2 is more blocky, more like a square, more, I guess, BlackBerry. So definitely not the best screen in terms of general layout. And it's also a little lacking in terms of brightness, so it's definitely a bit harder to see things in broad daylight. So overall, not the greatest screen. Now on the top of the phone, there is a headphone jack. Thank goodness they did not get rid of the headphone jack. And it's really cool because in the phone itself, like in terms of the box, there's actually a pair of headphones. So you can plug in a pair of headphones and go on conference calls, which I guess is what their actual purpose is, like with this phone, to be productive. Regardless, on the bottom there's a USB Type-C port, which is everywhere now, and on the right side we have a textured power button, convenience key, that is mappable to literally any action or app or anything, and a volume rocker. The cool thing with the convenience key and the volume rocker is that it's actually black with a chamfered edge, so it looks really, really nice, but it just kind of feels weird in the hand. I don't know, that's just me. Regardless, I have the convenience key for me mapped to Instagram, Snapchat, and Spotify. Regardless, moving to the back of the phone, we have a soft touch rubbery feeling back with a dual camera setup. This model is also the black edition, which I think looks cool, but I would have preferred the silver one. I just feel like it looks a lot nicer, but that's just my opinion. Regardless, moving into features, the BlackBerry. The BlackBerry's standout feature is that keyboard, as I mentioned. It's a fantastic tactile keyboard with a quick shortcut key for each key. It's actually called the speed key. If you click the speed key while holding it and press any of the other keys, you can map it to any action or any app that you want. So I have the I set to Instagram, the F set to Facebook, B to bank, and so on. At the home screen, actually, you can just click any button on its own and it'll send you right there, but if you're in an app, you have to hold the speed key. These shortcut keys are so useful, such as even like the actual $ key, breaking down the notification center. And can we just please take a second to acknowledge the fact that there is a $ key on this phone? Like, you know at this point, this phone is meant for people who are trying to make some dollar bills. Regardless, each key can work to switch to any app from the home screen. Even apps that are running can be switched into, which is really, really cool here. The Key2 also has an embedded fingerprint sensor in the keyboard's spacebar, which is definitely a really cool addition to the Key2, but it was also there in the Key1. Anyway, it's super fast and really, really reliable. The keys also, in comparison to last year, are a bit bigger by approximately 20%. Said by BlackBerry, and they're matte, so there's no more, I don't know, anything going on there. It just looks nice, okay, trust me. So the keyboard actually has the ability to scroll through different like apps and or like news feeds or whatever, so you can just scroll with your finger on the keyboard itself and it'll scroll. It's kind of cool whenever it works because you don't have to touch the screen, but that's again only when it works. The phone is also designed to get shit done, and you can probably see that from the industrial robust design and probably the really cool suite of safety features that they have called DTEC. Personally, I didn't find myself indulging much into the settings for those, but it was cool. However, to get notifications when apps were running that certain permissions were running were kind of weird and a little bit not needed. Like, I know the camera's running, but it was still cool to have when things were closed and it said that things were still running, such as like having Snapchat closed and saying the camera was still running, which has me a little concerned. Anyway, in terms of general performance, the BlackBerry Key2 is amazing. It has 6 gigs of RAM and it has a pretty decent processor. It's a Snapdragon 660. So for multitasking, it's pretty good, but my worries end up lying in the gameplay, because gameplay is just awkward because of that keyboard. And so is video watching. It's just a weird setup to hold it in any other position than portrait. With regard to the camera, the BlackBerry produces some pretty decent shots. Like, they're decent, they're okay. It's a dual camera setup with 12 megapixels for a telephoto lens and 12 megapixel for a normal shot. Regardless, it's just a decent camera. I would have expected something better from an $830 smartphone, but it has some decent shallow depth of field, which was nice, and a nice set of basic features, but that's about it. It's good when it comes to processing, but there's definitely some work that BlackBerry can do there in processing the pictures, but that's all software based that can be done through updates in the near future. The specs include a 4.5-inch LCD display, a Snapdragon 660 mid-range processor, 6 gigs of RAM, and a 64GB internal storage card with an optional micro SD card expansion that you can put in later. My biggest gripe with this phone is definitely just social media. In an age when social media is so prominent, checking things out like Instagram stories and Snapchat stories are just plain simple, but the BlackBerry Key2 cuts off the bottom and the top bits of the screen due to its really whack screen ratio, as I mentioned. So this means you can't see all the content that you want to, and in some cases when you're actually posting things, there's a black bar on the top and bottom. So it's definitely not the greatest social media device. In addition, when using the scroll feature on the keys, or even in general typing, the capacitive nav keys get hit so often, it's either sending me to the home screen or the multitasking page really quickly. I don't like that. That's definitely something that needs to be fixed, because it happens a lot whenever I'm typing. And with performance, there was always a delay bringing up the multitasking screen, and the keyboard takes a bit to get used to, but so I guess in the end of the day, what's my verdict? The BlackBerry Key2 is a phone to help people get shit done. Probably the best way to describe it. It's an excellent durable build phone and it has an amazing tactile keyboard to really type things out and get things done quickly. But BlackBerry did a good job at making sure that this phone was appealing to, I guess, almost everyone. See, despite the small social media hiccups and the fact that the phone was a little bit laggy in terms of performance and the camera wasn't amazing, this phone is definitely for those who are obsessed with security and want a physical keyboard, and also just generally anyone who wants a pretty reliable phone. BlackBerry's known for getting a solid, reliable phone in, and though this one is a niche because of the fact that it has that keyboard, it's a pretty cool phone that I think that some people are really, really badly going to want. But the real question is this phone for everyone? The short answer is no. Is this phone for me? No, but what it really is an underrated phone that you should probably give a chance to. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Alright everybody, that is the end of this video. I really do hope that you guys did enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to smash that like button, comment any feedback you guys have below, share this video to let more people know exactly that BlackBerry's back, and yeah, subscribe to the channel for more videos coming soon. And also quickly before I end this video, huge shout out to BlackBerry for sending me this phone approximately 2 or 3 weeks early. I've loved my time with it. Thank you so much, BlackBerry. And if you guys want to see more videos from them, remember to smash that like button. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys all so much for watching one last time, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Later.